Hello and welcome. I'm Raziel and I'm a bit late to the game. And the reason for that is because I really wanted to look at this in a different view because I'm still getting the Games Workshop stuff coming, on my feeds and social media and all that nonsense. And this Blood Angel stuff. Now, the Blood Angel stuff, I'm not saying they look bad because they don't. What they are is unimaginative. And it sounds silly, to be honest with you, because Games Workshop's meant to make the best miniatures, but when they release, like, Blood Angels for a start, it's completely unimaginative. There is nothing here that really screams Blood Angel outside of the shoulder pads. And that's it. These are the Death Company with jump packs, which will probably be really expensive anyway. Let's not talk about price, let's talk about the problem, which is the lack of creativity and imagination within Games Workshop. And the Blood Angels at the moment are really kind of showing this. So this is the Death Company. Without that shoulder pad, they could have been any black power armored chapter of Space Marines at all. You wouldn't know they were Death Company unless someone told you they were Death Company. That's the problem. These are Death Company. They're meant to be kind of ostentatious. They're meant to go out in fine armor and glory and die for the Emperor while thinking they're fighting at the Siege of Terror. That's what they're meant to look like. These are just black Space Marines and nothing else. See, this is what the original ones look like. Well, not the original, the last plastic ones, which have been one of my favourite kits for a long time. If you're Blood Angel players, if you're doing Firstborn, just grab some of these. And if you can, Horus Heresy players, grab a load of these as well, just for the bits. These have so many great Blood Angel bits. But as you can see, there's like the crosses are moulded onto their kneecaps and their hands. Everything's moulded on, and it looks like this is what Blood Angels would send people to go out and die in. To really have that final grace period, that final moment of glory when they're just going to die. They have all the emblems to show that they are Blood Angels and that even to their death they will remain a Blood Angel. And they're not going to be seen different from any other except in black and completely bonkers. Whereas if you look at these, yeah, they are just black Space Marines, and it doesn't get any worse. We'll go better from there. Let's look at the Lemartes model. Not a bad model. I'm not a fan of it. I think it looks too much like a World Eater than an actual Blood Angel. Yes, I get the Frenzy thing, but it also, the pose by the way, the actual model itself looks too much like a standard chaplain. You could use this guy as a chaplain for the Blood Angels and no one would know the difference. You wouldn't say, oh, that's Lemartes. He's like, no, that's just a Blood Angel chaplain and that's it. Even then, you could just say it's any other chaplain changing the shoulder pad here, if you like the model. Because all chaplains are angry anyway. They're not the most happiest of fellas. And like I said, this just looks like a standard chaplain, a standard Blood Angel chaplain. It doesn't look special. He looks like you could use this for any army at all and not really worry about it. And then again, we go to the actual Blood Angels chaplain with a jump pack. This would be a better model for Lemartes. This is a fantastic looking model. It's different. He's going into battle. A little bit of kit bashing, obviously, for the Malta gun in his hand. Malta pistol or Inferno pistol, whichever you want to call it. But this looks better. This looks so much better than that Lemartes model because it looks like a Blood Angel model and it looks like something that's going to be completely different from any other chaplain compared to chaplain. And here's the thing, let's just Primarch over. Is even now Lemartes himself is still in a group of magic, double real. Is he now Primaris? Because if he's Primaris, that kind of ruins the entire Primaris lore as well. He does look like Primaris because that's a Primaris jump pack. Because that ruins the Primaris lore, that, bad. It's crossing the Rubicon's very, very dangerous and has such a low success rate. But someone with the Black Rage can. Kind of weird, okay? Anyway, but that's now Astorath for Grim. This is peak unimaginative. This is the absolute top tier of no imagination at all when making a new model. Why? He's almost identical to the original. The pose and everything. Even the pose of this original one, if this was made into plastic, a Primaris size, this would look a lot better, but I would prefer his arms to be like down by his side or something like that, not this over the head executor style thing. But you see where all these scrolls of the lost are? These are the names of the lost, by the way, all those that have fallen to the Black Rage and he has to execute them, are being used to hold him up. So he looks like he's actually off the ground there. Whereas they got rid of him and put in a tactical rock. I don't know how they even thought this one was better. And even when they maintain the identical pose. Except the only real difference I've noticed is the heads turn slightly and the hands are further apart. That's it. But that's all you're going to see. And this, like I said, this is peak lack of imagination from Games Workshop. And if you're excited, you're excited. But the thing is, this is why I'm trying to show people to go look at other models rather than just go to Games Workshop. It's not just because of the price. The price is an issue for many people, but to me it's lack of diversity, as in types of different models and how they look different, okay? That's when I talk about diversity, it's that. Nothing else. It's about the type of models, okay? And those who watch me regularly know this. This is Parabellum Games. Notice these dwarves. Dwarf, dwarf, dwarf. Notice how 3 different units look completely different. See? Flame Berserkers, your LOC states, Magma Forged, and the Stone Forged. Okay, the Stone Forged is a big model, so we can kind of, that's a bit cheeky of me, really, isn't it? But notice how all the models look really different from each other. How there's a lot more variety in each other. Look how the centaurs for the Undead, the Old Dominion, are just fantastic, and they look like they are undead centaurs compared to the Leonine ones for this. Are these the spires? I think they're the spires, actually. Yeah, the spires. And it just shows you that even 2 units that are almost identical are completely different because they represent different factions, not just same faction painted different colours. And when it comes to imagination, you have this little mini Raja on a little elephant, which is really freaking cool. And these are limited edition, by the way, these two. These are 2 limited edition ones. And chickens on skulls. I know it sounds weird and a little bit daft, but that's kind of fun to see. All we really get from Games Workshop is a different red gobbo every year. But seeing stuff like this, and Mantic do it as well. One Page Rules does it all the time for printing as well. We do loads of special little characters. Really shows a lot of imagination and way to sort of add a bit more fun into their games. And finally, going to finish up with Mantic here. Twilight Kin are Dark Elves. And they look like Dark Elves. Don't get me wrong, they do look like Dark Elves. They have all the looks and everything, the colours of Dark Elves, but they have this Lovecraftian twist to them. Again, making them very much, that you see these are Dark Elves, but you can see they have this very twist, this Lovecraftian twist, or this more evil twist, whatever you want to call it, that suddenly makes them realise they look completely their own thing. That's, it's Mantic's Dark Elves. And again, you see lots of different types of units, all looking very different. And this is just coming to be one of my biggest issues, and why when I see people sort of go into bat for Blood Angels, for new Blood Angels, going, oh, they look fantastic. All I can think is they look like Space Marines. Okay, I get the point. Blood Angels are Space Marines. Okay, I get the point. But things like the Death Company, they should look completely different. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Link to Railing Games down below, as always. Forbidden Planet, Skyforge, my merchandise, my comics, and sorry about the drilling, it's upstairs. And of course, there is Patreon, because business. Bye bye.